How are you today? So, today I want to talk about mental health and, in context, more so of being a woman and the expectations and how um, it becomes very difficult in context of being a brown woman to accept that mental health is an issue. So, I just want to give you a preview, if you haven't seen a previous video of mine, about the fact that I was diagnosed with depression. My inherent issues, things that I struggled with, and my eventual diagnosis, that journey for me took about 6 to 7 years, more so intensified in the last 4 years, and it was a spiral downwards. And it took me a long time to accept that I have mental health issues. I needed the help. I never realized that my gender and my traditional upbringing would be such a hampering in my mental space. Everyone was good. My parents have been the best in supporting me since the diagnosis. But having said that, I still see that they struggled with understanding why I was having this issue. What was the big deal? Why was I making such a big, like, they didn't say it in words, but the fact that it was incomprehensible to them was obvious to me. Hence, my concerns about walking to them and telling them that I needed help. But this is, I am an example, but I think a lot of the women that I have met over the years have gone through this. Maybe even my mother's generation previously, and this will go on until we recognize that as women, especially as brown women, as Asian women, women from traditional societies, there's so many expectations that are saddled on us that we forget about it. We forget that mental health is necessary. Mental health is important to be taken care of. You always take a back seat and you wonder how things can get better, and you always just hope, yeah, tomorrow is going to be fine. Yeah, 2 years from now it's going to be okay. If I achieve this, it's going to be fine. Oh, my needs are not important. My kids' needs are more important. My husband's needs are more important. My in-laws are more important. Everything else is more important than what I need. And that's where we go wrong. That's the fundamental problem of being a woman in general, especially a woman from a traditional society who loses the value or the essence of herself. And that was one of the fatal things that I did. I was just constantly running from pillar to post, trying to make um, my in laws happy, trying to make my husband happy, trying to make sure that my parents are provided for, trying to make everyone happy. But I forgot about myself. And in that, I forgot about myself, but I forgot about myself in a way of resenting everyone else. In that, I wasn't happy doing what I was doing because I felt I was being taken for granted. I felt nobody was recognizing anything. While, and I felt I was getting used, exploited, and that wasn't right. The day you start to feel exploited is the day you need to put your foot down. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether your point of view is right or whether your point of view is wrong, you need to have a conversation. Have a conversation with the people you need to have a conversation with. Who is your issue with? Have a conversation with them or find a way to deal with it instead of saying that I have no way out of this. What do I do? How do I get out of this? Oh, my life is miserable. Oh, I'm feeling resentful. Oh, this and that and that. And then what happens when we go through those stages of rejection, exploitation, feeling anger, humiliation, even at some point? What happens? Our mental health takes a toll. our mental health takes a toll where we don't even realize it. There's no like a switch which turns on and says, oh, now you're not doing well. It's just a silent parasitic degradation of your health. In that, you fail to appreciate what is there, you fail to understand, give a perspective to yourselves, your reality, you blame everyone for it. There is no ownership left for taking charge of trying to get out of things, and there is no ownership left for you know b- taking responsibility for where things are. And as women, we are brought up in that sense where our job, really our job is silently told to us to be providers, to be caretakers, to love and nurture. But where is the love and nurture for yourself? It can only happen if you ask for it. It can only happen if we make a conscious dialogue about it. It can only happen if we understand and love ourselves. Give ourselves the compassion. Give ourselves the support. Don't get angry at ourselves. If we are not angry at ourselves for submitting to all these expectations, we are naturally not going to be angry at others for expecting that from us and us complying to that. So, what I'm trying to say in a sense is being a woman and being brought up in a traditional environment, along with getting married into a even more traditional environment, and on top of it, putting yourself in a space where you're not giving yourself any room to wiggle, you're not giving yourself any room to make a mistake, leads to nothing but a toll on your mental health. We need to remember who's important? Us. If we value ourselves, people around us will value us. If we value who we are, if we respect ourselves, the self respect, we will not be feeling exploited. If we value our essence, what we have to offer, no one else can take it from us. We can stand up for ourselves. We don't need the help. We appreciate the help, but we can stand up for ourselves. We can celebrate ourselves. We can nurture ourselves, and we can be support of everyone else. We can do what the society expects us to do without resentment. We can do what the society expects us to do with our own excitement and willingness to do when we recognize our worth. None of this is a burden until we are appreciated in a way where, great, you're doing it. That's amazing. Instead of saying, what's the big deal? That was expected and she did it. No, do not accept the latter. Ask for the former. Remember, you are your own person. You have ownership on who you are. And I tell you from my own experience, I did not take ownership about myself for a very, very long time. And it didn't lead me to anything good. All I was sad, angry, unhappy, and eventually severely depressed. But now I'm taking charge every day. I'm taking a little bit more responsibility every day. I'm doing a little bit more to stand up for myself, to live to my expectations, and to give to people who want, to people who respect me, and to people who value me. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I wanted to tell you about in terms of taking care of your mental health. The color of our skin, the traditional upbringing, our gender, they all play a big role in our conditioning. And we need to stand up to it in a way where we are productive, but we are not letting ourselves down. We do what we want, we live the life on our terms while asking for the respect, not being taken for granted, looking up, looking right into the eye of our dear ones and saying, I deserve this, I want this. It's not a charity project. I am not a charity. I deserve this. Just as L'Oreal says it best, because I'm worth it. That's the very, very basic thing. Because I'm worth it. Always remind yourself, because I am worth it. And that's when you'll be truly happy, because you have done what you wanted to. You have been honest with yourself. You have lived life on your terms, and you have taken care of things that you wanted to, what were priority to you, what were dear to your heart. And when you are honest like that, you automatically become worth of everything that is good around you and the right kind of care and warmth that you deserve from, that you think you deserve from your loved ones, and the right kind of respect that you have earned for yourself in your own eyes with your own conscience. So that's all I wanted to talk about today: womanhood and mental health, and how do we take charge of it. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.